Hey everyone, Erica here. So this is just a quick video on, I don't know how quick it is actually, but it's a crash course on the discard with a narcissist. Now it's mostly pertaining to romantic relationships. I will do a video on family dynamics as well, because as we all know, birds of a feather flock together. It doesn't really matter what type of narcissist it is, but I will do a video on the family dynamics as well. Mostly for the newbies, you know, people who are just now going through a discard, just to give them a little bit of a crash course on it. If you have anything to add to it, please be sure to leave a comment in the comment section. And as always, if you like the video, give a girl a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Hope you guys enjoy it. Hey everyone, welcome to Intuitive Vibes Narc Survival 101. Your girl Erica here. Now this video is for people who are either going through a discard or think they may be going through a discard. And if you're a newbie, you are considered a newbie, especially if the discard was fresh. Listen in. You might hear something that you need to know. Now, a narcissistic discard can be pretty much a very horrendous type of situation. And the reason I say horrendous is because the entire element surrounding a discard is mixed with so many different things. Confusion, anger, pain, disgust, you name it. Anything remotely negative is surrounding a discard. But if you are going through a discard, there's just a few things that I wanted to help you with in understanding not only the stages of the discard, but of course, what's really going through the narc's mind at the time of the discard. Now, I know I normally advise people to go through my content to see not only the different stages from beginning to end, but in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go from the point of discard up to the point where you met your narc. Or because remember guys, narcissism doesn't only go in romantic relationships, it goes with family dynamics as well. So apply it to your situation the way you know best, okay? Now in this case, the discard, you're in the stage of confusion. You're in the stage of pain, of fear, of anger, and you're wondering to yourself, why am I feeling this way? Well, most of it has to do with extreme gaslighting. And gaslighting is a manipulative tool that a manipulator, a narcissist, a sociopath uses to make you feel like you're going crazy. Okay? You didn't see it. You didn't hear it. You don't know what you're talking about. You're making things up in your head. I never said that. You never heard that. This was never done. That was never done. That's what gaslighting is. It's pretty much to thwart you off of the trail because you're actually catching on to certain things. Now, in this stage, you are in fight or flight mode, which means that you are either willing to fight, continue to fight for the dynamic, or you're going to be forced to flight, which means flee the dynamic. But you're stuck between the two because of immense gaslighting, because of immense manipulation. You don't really know what's going on. Truth of the matter is, you do know what's going on and it's sitting in front of you. But of course, because a narcissist or manipulator has put that veil over you and has manipulated you so beyond the point of belief, you are stuck. You're stuck between, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to do. So let me make this easy for you. If you are dealing with someone who is a narcissist, if you're dealing with someone who's a manipulator or who is narcissistic, because they don't have to be a full-blown narcissist. We don't deal with manipulators on this end. But if you are dealing with someone that you feel they're lying to me, I know they're lying to me, I can feel it in my gut, I see certain things going on, but they're telling me no, 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 no. Listen to your intuition. Narcissists are known to triangulate. This goes on during discard. Whereas they're doing certain things with other parties, they're doing certain things with external parties in front of you, and they are basically trying to get a reaction out of you. Now, you are supplying. A narcissist is inherently known for wanting supply. And as most victims, now known as survivors, understand that supply is a form of validation for a narcissist, because a narcissist is inherently a void. They are a hollow void. So now triangulation. Triangulation is pretty much using third parties to create some form of a toxic dynamic. Whichever you look at it, a discard is toxic. They can either be flirting with other people if you're in a romantic relationship with them. They could be openly flirting with other people. You see this flirting, you see all of these little different clues here and there. You confront them on it. And of course, they give you what is called narcissistic rage. Narcissistic rage is a way to react to your response based on the dynamic that they are setting up themselves. So as they are giving you narcissistic rage, as you are confronting them, you are supplying them with attention. The third party is also supplying them with attention. So they're getting attention from both ends. They're getting negative attention from you, but they're getting positive attention from the third party because, of course, they're giving the third party an impression. They're giving the third party manipulation. They're manipulating you at the same time. But of course, all eyes are on the narcissist. Stop that right now. Now, as you're giving them your response, they're giving you narcissistic rage. Narcissistic rage is their brutal response to you. See, what a narcissist does during a discard is the beginning stage of a discard. Before they're even going to discard you, you'll notice that they're getting detached. They become cold. They become more insensitive because they were being insensitive to you during your relationship with them, believe it or not. But because they were coupling it with good behaviors such as love bombing, which is, of course, as we all know, what a narcissist does to keep you unsuspecting of their abuse. If you have been in a relationship with someone who was verbally abusive with you 1 minute, but then telling you I love you the next minute, who was being completely horrible to you and putting you down, judging you, criticizing you, doing everything possible to try to destroy your self-esteem, and then the next minute they're all on top of you, they're hugging you, they're kissing you, they're doing all types of things. This is called the Jekyll and Hyde effect, okay? We all know what Jekyll and Hyde is. This is what they do to keep you off keel. So that way, as they're abusing you, they're giving you good behaviors in the process. That keeps you confused. And that's also what keeps you stuck in the discard phase. Because in that stage, you're thinking to yourself, but they told me they love me. But they said they want to be with me. They said they want to marry me. They said they want to do this. We want to have children together. That's called future faking. They're going to tell you these things because they don't want you going anywhere. Now, I know you're wondering, if the narcissist is discarding me, why would they be worried about who I'm with, where I'm going, so forth and so on? Well, let me explain something to you. You are property to the narcissist. You are their property. Whether they are with you or not, you are considered theirs. They want to own you. They want to possess you. That's just the way it is. No matter how many times you have been in a cycle with your narcissist, once, twice, 20 times, doesn't matter. As long as they have access to you, this is where it gets a little bit more confusing because during a discard, they're not going to give you any clarity. They're not going to say it's over per se. What they're going to do is they're going to say, let's take a break. You know what? I just need some space. See, all of this is a ruse. This is basically a way to keep you at arm's length while they pull in their new supply. Remember what we said. Supply is for validation. Supply can be anything. Supply can be people. It could be money. It could be external sources. It can be alcohol. It could be drugs. It can be anything. See, a narcissist is a person who thinks of only themselves. They think of only their own needs and wants and desires. They do not consider yours. So the entire relationship you had with a narcissist, and believe it or not, even if it was with your family, the entire relationship you had with a narcissist was based on their own selfish needs. Everything that they have done, everything that they have said, everything that they have presented on the table for you was an illusion. It was just a way to get you ensnared in their trap. That is it. They had no intention on being serious with you. They had no intention on seriously loving you. They had no intention on having a future with you. It sounds harsh, but I'm telling you the honest truth. You're in a stage right now where you're confused because you are in love with them, or at least you think you are in love with them. See, what you have is a trauma bond. Now, at one point you were in love with this person. At one point you were so embedded and so in most cases infatuated with the person because they were showing you things that made you feel good, that made you feel like you were in a strong, solid relationship. But that love went out the window the minute the trauma bond came in, because during the relationship, if you had an extensive amount of time with someone who was abusing you, intertwined with giving you good treatment, that was the beginning stage of a trauma bond. You had become an enabler because after a while, there is no more love. There is just attachment. The trauma bond is pretty much a bond that keeps you stuck in a dynamic with someone who is also experiencing trauma. So all of their trauma, they projected onto you. All of those nasty, moody behaviors, the picking fights with you, the insulting you, the snide remarks, everything. That is all trauma that they had experienced from someone else or other people. And they projected that onto you, therefore creating that bond with you. So intertwined with good behavior, insults, nastiness, rudeness, just covert bullying. You know, they bully you in private, but in public, it's something totally different. That's all part of the trauma bond. And that's all part of what they experienced with other people prior to you. And of course, because they were doing all of this and you're sitting there wondering, what the hell did I do to deserve this? Well, you didn't do anything to deserve it. They just inherently do that to people. They do that to good people, people who are the opposite of them. See, narcissists are people who internally they really resent the people who represent narcissism in their lives. And 9 out of 10 times, the people that they resent are their caregivers because a narcissist is created. And of course, in order for a narcissist to be created, they had to have a caregiver that formed them in that way. So if you're dealing with a guy and he's a narcissist, he more than likely resents his mother or his father or both because one or both were narcissists. And the only reason he took it out on you is because he doesn't trust you. You see, his mother or his father lied to him. They abused him. They had done so many things to him that it screwed up his head. And of course, you being the good person, the opposite of who they represent, he does not trust it because the minute he gets a little taste of it, he knows he's going to want more and he's afraid. He's afraid that he's going to lose it. Narcissists have very fragile egos. So if they have any kind of inkling of an idea, that they're going to lose supply, especially supply that is empathetic, that is genuine, that is caring, that is giving, that is just the epitome of love. As weird as it sounds to hear it, they will discard you before you discard them. So if you have, whether intentionally or not, giving them any idea that you are going to abscond from the dynamic, they're going to basically do it to you first before you do it to them. With a narcissist, they say when it's over, not you. And of course, with a narcissist, it's never truly over. So now during the discard, you're going through all of this, you're experiencing all of this, and you're wondering, what the hell do I do next? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. What you do next is nothing. And by nothing, I mean you do not respond, you do not react, you do not give in. See, now what the narc is thinking during a discard is, you are too much in love with me. You want me too much. You want me to stay, and you're willing to do anything to keep me here. So even though I'm looking for new supply, which can be another person or what have you, you are going to be kept at arm's length. I'm not going to give you any clarity. I'm not going to tell you what's going on. I'm going to gaslight you. I'm going to give you the silent treatment. Silent treatment! That is used to keep you, yet again, stuck, but it's used to psychologically control you. So you know how when you were sending messages to them and you're trying to gain some form of clarity, but they're not responding to you, they're not saying anything to you, but yet you see they're talking to everybody else. So it's kind of like you're in that circle by yourself and everybody else around you is involved with the narcissist, but you're the only one who's trying to get in contact and yet you can't get it. They will ignore you because they know that it's driving you crazy. Let's face facts. Nobody wants to be ignored. So they're going to ignore you. They're going to continue to triangulate. See, this all intertwines with everything, guys. They continue to triangulate. They continue to do the things that they're doing because they're getting attention from you. They're getting attention from them. They're getting their ego stroked. So what now? What do you do now? What you do now is you stop everything that you're doing. This is a game for them, okay? This has been done before. This has been done before you. It's going to be done after you. And if you do not play they can't say anything about it. They can't do anything about it, because what you're doing is you're taking away their validation. You're taking away their idea of what love is, because to a narcissist, they have a twisted way of believing what love is. Love to a narcissist is praise. Love to a narcissist is worship. It's pretty much doing as they say, not as they do. It's complying with them. It's giving in to them. It's letting them take the driver's seat and have all the control. That's what love to a narcissist is. And it's all because whomever raised them had them believing that. Whomever had them in that environment had them believing that manipulation and control and abuse is normal. It's the way of life. And you know what? That's how you're going to get what you want out of life. That's how you and I know that unconditional love is the best way to go. But to a narcissist, their parents or caregivers, because some narc parents like to abandon their kids too, they have taught them that this is the way to be. And since you're in the midst of a discard and you're seeing all of the supply that they are so harshly hurting you for, a lot of people wonder, well, I must not be good enough, and that supply must be better. Oh, but this supply doesn't even look better than me. But this supply doesn't even seem better than me. Let me explain something to you. What they want, okay? And it doesn't matter if the supply looks better than you. It doesn't matter if the supply does better than you. What they want is attention. They want validation. And if they feel that in your dynamic, they were not getting their source of supply or enough of it, they look externally, which means they cheat. They go out there, they go on dating sites, they do all kinds of stuff because they're already trying to find your replacement. Narcissists are siphons, which means that you can pour a whole tank of gas into them and it's just going to come right out. You can't fulfill them. These types of people are never satisfied. Enough is not enough. And they are the type of people who leave the people that they are with for another person. They don't leave just to leave. They leave to go into another dynamic with another person. Narcissists are codependents. They're codependent on supply. They're codependent on that attention. They're codependent on resources. So if someone left you for someone else who said, let's say, has more money than you, naturally, the narcissist left you because they're going to be more financially set with somebody else who has money. So looks don't really have anything to do with it, although it is the cherry on the sundae, because if they look good, if they have money, if they can in the bedroom, hey, they're set. But at the end of the day, it does not necessarily mean that the new supply has to look better than you or even feel better. It's just the attention. A narcissist does not know love. So do not for a second think that because they left you for someone else that they're in love with them. They are not. This new supply is just a new victim. The new supply is just someone to play with. You, on the other hand, you were prime supply. So just because you were discarded does not mean that it's over. Does not mean that, well, they left, they went their own way, so I guess I just got to go my own way. It means that while they're doing that, they're expecting you to still be in that stuck mode. They're expecting you to be in that mode of depression and hurt and pain and to be pining over them. You're pining for them. You want them. You need them. And if you were anything like a lot of other people who have been through this situation, at one point you maybe were even begging for them to stay. So with them knowing that, of course, the narcissist is going to play with their new supply, whether in front of your face or behind your back. They're going to continue doing what they're doing because in the back of their mind, they're thinking you're still stuck in that same position. You're not going anywhere. So I'm just going to dabble over here. And when I'm ready to come back, I'll come back to you. That is your ample time. Right then and there is your ample time to get up and walk the hell away. It will be hard. It is extremely hard, but I guarantee you'll be glad that you did it. The first thing is going no contact, meaning that you not only delete, but block them on any type of social media that you have. Change your phone number. Hell, if you can, change your home address because narcissists Oh, when they want something and when they feel they are in control, or when they feel they want to possess someone, they will watch you, even if they're with their new supply. If you notice breadcrumbing, and breadcrumbing is where they periodically reach out to you, they periodically message you, or maybe even pop up to see you. That is to keep you stuck as well. That's to keep them on your mind. That's to have all those feelings and thoughts come right back to the surface so you don't lose your place. So actually, they don't lose you in the place that they have you. That's what breadcrumbing is. They send you random messages. They, I just want to see how you were doing and so forth and so on. But the kicker in a discard is when they're discarding you and they say, let's be friends. Narcissists are known to try to be friends with their exes. They're known to do this because they always want to have access. They want to be able to access you whenever they choose to do so. This is why no contact is very important. And we're not talking limited contact. We're talking complete, I fell off the face of the earth, no contact. You have to remove yourself from this trauma bond because you're taking on trauma that has nothing to do with you. They are broken people. These types of people are broken people. And it makes no sense for you to try to fix someone who is broken and not by your hands, not by your doings. So why take on the responsibility? Now, naturally, in this case, the narcissist is going to have everybody else believing, of course, that you're the reason why things didn't work out. You're the reason why things were so toxic and blah, blah, blah. All that negative stuff. Let me explain something to you. Don't even worry about what other people think. Don't even worry about what their take on it is. Because at the end of the day, the narcissist had already manipulated all these people to believe that you were the basis of the problems throughout the relationship. And all the while, you were the one trying to figure out how to make them happy. It was never going to happen. The entire relationship was based on contradiction and lies and manipulation, deflection. They don't take accountability for their actions. So, of course, it's easier for them to just deflect onto you because you're the innocent bystander. You didn't have anything to do with what was going on in their life before you came in it. And yet they managed to continuously project that onto you, so much to the point that they got bored with you because you were still standing tall in it. See, they push you to the edge to see how far they can go. They push your buttons. They do all sorts of mean and hurtful things to see how much you will take up until the point of a discard. Because they either discarded you because they got bored with you, or they discarded you because they thought you were going to leave. They thought they were going to lose it, and they can't have that. Their egos are very fragile. And of course, any chance of hurting their egos, they won't take that risk. So they go and they just plant it all on you. And I know it sounds really screwy and it sounds messed up, but let me explain something to you. They all face their own karma. So that's something you don't have to worry about. But what you need to do, now that you know what kind of people they are, now that you know what it is you were dealing with, this hopefully can help you move forward and help you in the direction that you need to go. Because if you know that these are the type of people, they're going to be who they are, this is who they are not going to change their behaviors. Would you want to go back to that person? Would you want to continue dealing with someone like that? If you had known then what you know now, would you have even bothered? I don't think so. No one wants to ever be discarded, especially by someone who is a complete manipulator, someone who is a pathological manipulator. That is probably the most brutal things that anyone has ever had to experience, especially when that person is dealing with trauma and they're taking it out on someone else who has nothing to do with it. You went through some crappy shit. You've had to deal with a lot of disheartening things. But I guarantee you, after learning what you've learned, after understanding everything, this is going to be the beginning of your new life, because now you're going to see things totally different. And now you're going to know what to do in the future. So much so to the point, nobody's going to want to fuck with you. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. That's my time.